Hello, everyone. It's Paula here. Let me try and see. I'm trying to also get on Instagram. So I don't know if you're there. There we go. I think we are also live on Instagram. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We are live on everywhere because I wanted to pop in here today to talk about something important, which is why on earth people's stress management plans fail. Like, we all know that stress is bad for you. I don't even need to tell you all that. I know that you know. And if you've been one of those people who've tried to start a new plan, self-care plan, I'm going to do massages and manicures, I'm going to start meditating, I'm going to eat healthy. And for most of us, including myself, what used to happen is that those plans maybe work for a few days, maybe they work a week. Sometimes, if people just focus on the bubble baths and manicures and massages, it's like, well, I still feel stressed out a day or two after. So I'm a psychotherapist, I'm a licensed clinical social worker. So stress, anxiety, depression, any mental health challenges, those are my expertise. And for the past 20 years, I've been really passionate about helping people manage their stress and heal from traumas and get their anxieties under control as well, with the whole goal of people being able to feel better faster, as well as to live a fulfilling life with vitality and purpose. We can't live that fulfilling life with vitality and purpose if we have the stress going on. So I want to shed some light today in terms of why on earth these plans fail then. Okay, so as far as I've been figuring out, there are three reasons for this. And the reason number one is that people don't look at stress management from this comprehensive lens. So you might sign up for a gym and start doing some exercise. Maybe you're taking care of your diet. Maybe you're able to be successful in your meditation practice. We know all those things work, but there are some missing key ingredients in that. This is why I have developed a stress management system that has 5 key areas that a lot of people miss. So some of the key areas that really should be in your comprehensive stress management plan is things like you need to process your traumas. It's like if you don't process your traumas, it's like you're trying to run a marathon and you're carrying a 50-pound bag behind you. It's exhausting at this, it doesn't work. Most people, instead of really diving deeper into processing their traumas and healing through those really challenging, horrible experiences sometimes, and sometimes it could be those small t traumas, which are traumas that are not so massive, not so big. It could be something like being teased at school or having parenting experiences as a child that were not so optimal, or some kind of rejection or loss of a relationship. So those are also traumas that people need to heal through. So this is one of the key areas that needs to be part of a comprehensive stress management plan, is processing and healing through those traumas, because we know this from trauma is that as long as they are not processed through, it's like food, it sits in your system like food that is not digested. Okay, so if you're trying to do a lot of stress management plans and you're doing all the right things and you're wondering why it's not working, well, take a look and see if you are also processing your traumas. The other thing that is often missing that I see in stress management plan is something like building resiliency. So this is building resiliency is something that happens not when there is a crisis already, not when there's a lot of things going on, but this actually happens when things are kind of going pretty smoothly and you are in a plateau. Perfect time to build some inner resources and resilience for yourself, when you have those inner resources and resilience, then you're going to be better able to handle stressors and challenges that come your way. So you can be proactive and prepared when those stressors happen, because we do know that stress and anxiety are inherently part of life. We're not going to eradicate, we're not going to, be in a life situation where we don't have any stress. So those are just two examples of my five-step comprehensive stress management system that I have developed, that I truly believe when you're addressing all those five key areas, then you have the opportunity to have a successful stress management plan, learn to really regulate your nervous system because you're addressing all those areas. And then through that, you're going to be able to really, truly, truly enjoy your life. So if you're interested in finding out more about what these other key areas are so that you can start working on them right away, I am doing a couple more free webinars. So if you haven't noticed, I'm doing webinars that are called Calm Within EMDR tools for stress management. So in these free trainings, I dive deeper into these what are these five key areas are, and under each of those areas I have lots of different skills and practices that I'm teaching people. So but that was only mistake number one, is not having that comprehensive stress management plan. Now, mistake number two is really, really easy to miss, because these are what I call hidden stressors. They are stressors that people don't realize that they are stressors. So when we don't realize that something is actually a stressor for us, we're not gonna we're not gonna address that. So if I'm not aware that something is a problem, then I'm also not going to come up with the solution for that. So it is really important to understand that these hidden stressors are there. We all have them. So some of the examples of these hidden stressors are things like self-criticism. So think about if you are having a lot of critical dialogue going on. Most people, what I've learned is that they like to have this dialogue because they feel like it's going to make them perform better, it's going to make them do better, it's going to somehow prevent them from making some mistakes. Unfortunately, research tells us that that's not actually true. What actually works better is something like self-compassion practice, for example. But this hidden self-criticism, if you're not aware of it, sometimes it's so automatic, it just pops up that we don't even realize we are doing that. This is literally like being bullied. This is like you have this inner bully that is constantly putting you down and making you feel really lousy and bad about yourself. So obviously, this being confronted by a bully is a stressful situation. So your nervous system goes into a stress response when you are engaging in self-criticism. Okay, so that's just one example of these hidden stressors. Another one, there's several of them, but another one would be something like people pleasing and engaging in that. And that people pleasing is really driven by this underlying fear of rejection, underlying fear that, people are not going to like me, they're going to get angry at me, they're going to abandon me. And that thought of rejection or abandonment and not belonging to a community is really, really scary. Okay, so notice how that people pleasing behavior is really driven by fear. And as a consequence, that behavior in and of itself is causing a stress response. So again, if you're not addressing these kind of hidden stressors as part of your comprehensive stress management plan, then it's going to fail. It's absolutely going to fail because we're not addressing all those areas. Again, I talk about these hidden stressors in my free webinar. There's a link to sign up for this underneath this post. I think I have maybe 2 or 3, I can't remember right now, maybe 2 or 3 live webinars left where you can jump on board and learn more about my comprehensive stress management system. I believe it's the only system you'll need to handle your stress, because it covers everything that you need to know and gives you the skills. So mistake number 3 is these mental obstacles. So okay, if we get that comprehensive stress management plan and we get to a point where we become aware of these hidden stressors, the last hurdle we get to go through and overcome is this part of us that wants to keep us in the safe zone. And what's really funny with this safe zone, this comfort zone, is that there's a lot of pain and suffering in that. So it's not our optimal way of thriving and being joyful and connected and abundant and being who we authentically are. That's not what I mean by comfort zone. The comfort zone is just something that we are familiar. And many, many times in that comfort familiar zone, there is a lot of stressors in that. There's a lot of negativity in that place because there's always part of us that wants to maybe strive for something bigger and better. And the reason why we are in that comfort zone, there's many of them, but one of the biggest ones is fear of change and what that means, fear of being really out there, fear of being seen, like we want to be seen, but we are also afraid to be seen all at the same time. So then we are just frozen and we are stuck. And we can recognize when we are faced with these mental obstacles through the language, again, that we are telling ourselves. So, the language of these mental obstacles that really want to hold us small and keep us stuck where we are, it could sound something like, I'm not ready, or I don't have the time, or I don't know how, or it's just too hard. So all those are indications that there's just a part of you, we don't have to get mad at this part of you, but there's this part of you that that believes that it's protecting you from something, while at the same time it's also preventing you from stepping into a different level of experiencing life from this place of fulfillment, contentment, and having the opportunity to experience lasting emotional and mental and physical well-being. So it's really important to learn to recognize those limiting beliefs that are our mental obstacles. We can recognize them, we can say hello to them, we can understand where they are coming from. We don't have to get mad at them, we don't have to get frustrated at them, but we do not listen to them. So they might be there, they might be saying things, but it's important that you take action anyways, because essentially in order for you to be able to successful in getting that stress under control, the way we do that is taking the right action, being committed to the action, and also being focused on not doing too many things at the same time, but really being focused on doing the right kind of action that gives you the results that you want. So that's why it's important to also handle those mental obstacles. And I always share the story like, well, I wouldn't be here talking to you all today if I really believed this story that I'm not ready. So I came to the United States about 25 years ago. I'm from Finland. I was in college in Finland, and on paper, I wasn't ready. I had a placement at a school. I was doing an exchange program. I was accepted to East Carolina University in North Carolina, doing a social work program there, but I wasn't ready. I didn't have the money. I had money maybe for like 2 months, and I barely had a place to stay. And on paper, it was like, oh boy, she's definitely not ready. And of course, my family and all my friends believed that, like, what are you doing? You literally like what are you going to do when your money runs out? What are you going to do when this and that happens? And you're in this strange big country all by yourself. And I did it anyways because I was adventurous and I was committed. But if I would have operated from this place that, I'm not ready, I have to wait for something to happen to be ready, then I probably wouldn't be here. So I took the leap, and it was like I'm jumping off the plane and I'm sewing the parachute on the way. So that is one of the biggest ones. So I want to ask you, are you ready? Are you ready to really get a handle on your stress and learn more about comprehensive stress management system, how to overcome these hidden mental beliefs, limiting beliefs, as well as obstacles? And are you ready to discover and find out more about what these time-tested, scientifically proven stress management tools and skills are, such as EMDR, which I love and have been trained in it for a long time. So if you're curious, if you want to join me, I have a couple of more of these live free trainings. Go ahead and click the link below this video to sign up, and I will see you there. And of course, write any questions or comments below this video. Let me know what really resonated with you, and maybe if you need some support, let me know what you're struggling with, and I'll message back and give you some stress management tips and guidance. Okay, I'm just here to support you. Bye now. Have a wonderful day.